Yo, oh,
Hey.
that guy said,
Mhm.
what's up, y'all? Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Welcome. Welcome,
Oh,
y'all. We miss you wherever you are. If you are on here, yes.
all right, we're live.
We are live.
We are live and alive.
We are live. Ladies and gentlemen,
This
we
is
are
what
live. We are live. Hey, if you are here, we are gonna wait a couple minutes for some peeps to join. But while we wait, shout out in the comments what is one thing that's going well during quarantine? One thing you're thankful for or that's going well in quarantine. Post it in the comments. Also, in the comments, this is really important. We need you to post your best God honoring quarantine joke. At the end, we're going to read the funniest one out loud. So, your best quarantine joke that is honoring to God and to people. But shout out also in the comments, maybe where you're watching from, who you're watching with. Are you with your mom, your grandma, maybe your auntie?
Your auntie.
Oh, Phil is binge watching.
Phil, what are you binge watching? What's the go-to right now?
What is it?
Always looking for a good new show, you know? Yeah, Haley's cooking it up in the kitchen, girl.
Nice. Haley is cooking dinner for everybody. She's bringing it, delivering it to your house tomorrow
Shipping
night. So put in your
Seattle.
orders now. Haley Ekin, ladies and gentlemen.
Bubby, did you know that Grace had a twin?
No.
Are you serious?
Mercy?
In. Love.
Okay, Grace, can we guess your sister's name, your twin sister's name? Is it Mercy?
I know her sister. I've met her. But you can guess, Bubby. Free delivery, Haley.
Hey.
Oh, nice, Phil. Hi, Tiffany. Puppy. Okay, oh my gosh, Bubby, Mari and I want to buy a puppy so bad. This is like
Do
the
it.
time. You're
This
just
is the
home
time.
all day.
All the potty training you could ever want.
Seriously, by the time we're out of this quarantine thing, like, it'll be full grown.
Nice. Nice, y'all.
There is not Mercy. Good to know.
Tiffany is hiking as well. Not just a puppy, but she's hiking with the puppy.
Hiking with the puppy.
Can you carry the puppy, Tiffany? Is it carryable, or what's the plan when you hike with a puppy? Because you didn't say dog. If it was a dog, I would assume that he's walking
a big difference, yeah.
on his own. But it's a puppy, so are you carrying, or is this puppy walking, or a mix of the two?
Good question.
Great question.
Good
question. Some mountains, like it.
Colorado, all right.
Yes.
We got California, Yakima.
Annabelle's dinosaur mask. Emma is thankful.
That thing terrified me.
Hey, y'all, in the comments, this is super important. We need your best quarantine joke that is God honoring and people honoring, but your best quarantine slash Corona joke. And we'll read the funniest one out loud at the end. So bring it. All right, y'all. Well, welcome to our first Mosaic College Night live.
Whoop whoop!
Whoop whoop!
Oh, she has a lab. But she's gigantic. That's not a puppy. Or maybe it is. There are dogs that are big. There are puppies that are big. Well, hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to our very first Mosaic College Night live. We've never
first.
done this, Bubby.
First time.
This is like next level for us. We're in with the technology now.
Always stay in.
Well, hey, we're so excited that y'all are here watching with us tonight from really all around the world. We got people from Hawaii. We got some local here in Seattle, Colorado, California, Oregon, all over. And I know that this pandemic is hitting everyone a little bit differently. We each have our own experiences, our own things happening in life. Some of us maybe are enjoying the social distancing. I know if you are anything like my husband, who's sitting over here in the room listening to me, you're thankful. Like, this is your dream. To stay home by yourself for 14 days plus is a dream. And for others of you, you're really not thriving. You're experiencing some real trials, or maybe just walking through some hard things. And so wherever you're at in the middle of this, we're so excited just to talk tonight, to get some of God's perspective, and yeah, just be community with one another. So Bubby, how has it been for you? How's quarantine over at the Graham house?
Quarantine at the Graham house. It has been good and bad. I'll say mixed bag for me. First, I miss everybody. I miss people.
Yeah.
I miss you all that are in the chat right now and watching from home. I miss you guys. And um, some of the good things are just getting to spend more time with Ari and Cliff, playing a lot of Legos. That's fun with Cliff, not by myself. Well, sometimes myself, but
Little break.
I feel more rested than normal, which I imagine many people feel that way too. Just a lot of the busyness that has been taken away, and I feel forced to slow down, and so I'm thankful for that. But some of the hard things I think are knowing a lot of people that have lost jobs or income, and uh, sorry, as I'm saying what's hard, I'm also seeing some of these funny comments. So, but seriously, it's tough knowing people that are close to me that have lost jobs or lost income during this time. That feels like a real
Yeah.
trial just to even be there for them. And I think also thinking about my grandparents. So my grandparents live in an assisted living home, and they've been on lockdown. There aren't any cases at their home or anything like that, but they've been on lockdown for a long time now, and I just feel so bad for them. Or they've been so isolated for several weeks now, and then I think so many plans being canceled, Tijuana being canceled was a bummer, or having some family that was going to come visit here next week, but they've had to cancel that trip. And so I think, like you said, Hope, that a lot of us are feeling it in different ways. I'm feeling it in a lot of different ways, and the good things and the hard things. And it really is. It's a challenge. No matter how you spin it, this season is challenging for all of us in varying degrees. But this season is a challenge, and for you, it might look like a threat to plans that you've had that you had put in place. Maybe it's for some of you seniors. It's like, man, I didn't anticipate graduation going like this.
Yeah.
Or just spring quarter online. The challenge at that is maybe you feel the fear around your personal health or the health of people at home. Maybe you're just missing friends because you're not in the dorms anymore, and you're at home with your family, and that's great. Maybe that's a hard situation for you, but we're all facing challenges during this time, and I think it's helpful to recognize that this is a challenging time, and just say that it's a
Mhm.
challenging time. And um, with that, the Bible is full of stories of challenges that people face. It's kind of the story of the Bible, is people facing challenges, and they either trust God or they don't. And when they do trust God, they get to see God come in, and they get to see his power and his love. And just over and over, there are stories in the Bible about this. Moses and the Israelites standing at the Red Sea. That was a challenge that they were facing. And they're
Mhm.
facing this challenge, and Moses trusts God, and he puts out his staff. And then Joshua leading the Israelites to Jericho, the challenge in front of them, this big city. Or David and Goliath. I mean, the story of the Bible is challenge after challenge, but people trusting God and getting to see him in a bigger way as their deliverer and as their protector, provider. And so, long answer to a short question is, ups and downs. And yet I see the real opportunity for us in this to take quarantine and take coronavirus and everything, every challenge that's posed through it, and see God move in bigger ways in our lives. And
Mhm.
but how about you, Hope? How's it been for you? Talk to me. Quarantine, Corona life. What's it like?
Corona life. We are living the Corona life right now. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, I would say. Even just day to day, there's definite highs and lows. There's moments where it's like, all right, come on, this is it. God is going to do something huge, revival in our nation, in our city. Everybody's about to get saved. This is it. And it's exciting, and there's like passion and really high faith. And then the next hour, it's like, I need to get out of this house, and I can't do this any longer. Like, how long is this going to last? So I think, we're all over the map, like I said, a roller coaster, hour by hour. And there's been definitely a lot of disappointments. Yes, that's kind of what it feels like.
Yes, the roller
A
coaster.
lot of disappointments, just canceled plans. Oh, even just our college ministry alone. Like, I think about, man, I wish we could be sitting in Tiffany Loop or
Yeah.
in looking at the cherry blossoms at UW with
Ooh,
all the students, like simple things like
sounds.
that we don't get to do. We're my brother's getting married this weekend. Just all the craziness of like, man, this day we've been dreaming into, and now we get to get married with 10 people, and it's 30 minutes long.
Hmm.
So just all the ups and downs, disappointments, navigating unemployment and finances, and all of those things. So it's been a wild ride, but Mario and I were laughing the other night because we remembered the last time that we were all together for college night. I preached on this, right? I preached on James 1, and we talked about tests and trials and
Yeah,
about how we endure these things and how we walk
we
through these
did.
things. We get to rejoice because God is perfecting our faith. He's building the character and maturity and producing hope in us. So it's hard, but we're excited and expectant for what God is going to do through it. So excited to see.
Yeah.
Pumped to be here tonight. This is kind of what we're talking about tonight. Bubby is crushing quarantine, and we have 5 healthy habits that we're going to be walking through tonight that will help us to crush quarantine. And as we go along, if you guys have any questions, use the chat to send in those questions, and we'll be able to follow up with you throughout the night. So,
Yeah.
Bubby, kick us off.
All right. Well, I really, even as we're filming this, I'm realizing one of my biggest challenges is not touching my face.
Oh my
Anybody
God.
else realize that? I am all up
Yes,
on my face.
I already have. You've seen.
Yeah. Well, so we have 5 things that we want to bring to you, to help us all not just scrape through quarantine, but actually thrive and see every plan that God has for us realized. So the first big thing that we're talking about, first healthy habit to help us crush quarantine is this: Spending time with Jesus.
Come
Spending
on.
time with Jesus. Amen. Uh, you know,
You could just stop there.
done. Seriously.
Bye.
Seriously. So I right away when stuff started coming out, we were talking about, are we going to have to cancel our Tijuana trip and everything? I started praying, and I remember where I was. I was on the rooftop deck of the building, and I felt like God said, Bubby, that what I want to do right now is teach people to depend more on me. The word dependence kept coming to mind, dependence and dependence on me, and all the ways that we've depended on other things. And God's just stripped those things away from me, from all of us. Lots of things that have been stripped away. Bad things, but good things too. Like school in person is not a bad thing, but God has stripped some of these things away from us so that we can learn in a whole new way to depend on Him and remember again that He's the main goal. He is the main point. He is the reason that we live and move and have our being. Knowing Him and spending time with Him is going to be one of the biggest things that you could do during this quarantine. And
Mm-hmm.
in some ways, it's going to be easier than it was when you were in the dorms or in your house with all your roommates. In some ways, it's going to be harder. Maybe you've felt this already. It can be tough to be self-motivated when you don't have to get up for a class at 8:30 or 8 a.m. It can be tougher to worship loudly if you're at home and maybe your mom's not down with worship jams blasting.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing that I've just come back to over and over again over the past 2 weeks is that it's not actually a chore. It's not something I have to do. I don't have to spend time with God, but I get to spend time with Him. I get
That's
to
good.
spend time with Him, and He's given me kind of a fresh understanding of that I get to spend time with Him. What a
Mm-hmm.
blessing! What an opportunity! And uh, you know, I feel like I was in this mindset where I was like, wake up, spend time with God, check the box, and then move on with my day. But what God has done in giving me all this free time is He's shown me, hey, just you can come sit with me. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to look a certain way, but just come sit with me, listen to me, talk to me, tell me what's on your mind, tell me what you're anxious about, tell me what you're excited about, and just a kind of recalibration, remembering that God is personal and that He loves me and He cares about me. And that opportunity is for each of us to spend time with Him like that with no agenda, even. I'm not trying to get something out of God. I just want to know Him more. Even I'm not reading the Bible. Maybe this is a mindset shift that some of you need right now. I'm not reading the Bible just to finish a certain number of chapters, but I'm actually reading the Bible slowly and kind of communing with God as I do it.
It's
And
good.
my goal as I read the Bible is not just to, again, check off a box, but it's actually to know God more and to love Him more. And so I can take it as slow as I want to, because
Yeah.
the end goal isn't to read X number of chapters. That's not gonna like give me more brownie points in heaven or something. But it's actually to know God more through His Word.
Yeah.
And all that being said, I think it is helpful to have some plan for how we're going to spend time with Jesus. So if you haven't already done this, I would challenge you to think and write down where and when and for how long
Mm-hmm.
will I spend time with Jesus every day. I mean, this
It's
is
good.
one of the huge opportunities that we have is to spend time with Him. So actually take time to plan and think about intentionally, God, where and in what room in my house, or am I going to go outside? Am I going to go on a walk? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
will I have enough privacy in this room? So where and when is it going to be in the morning or at lunch or at night or all three of those times?
Come
Um,
on.
and how long will you spend time with Him every day? And then even asking God, what would be some obstacles for me in doing this? What are going to be some of the things that would prevent me from spending time with you during quarantine? That is it that I'm too distracted by social media? Is it that I'm just wanting to go see my family all the time and it's hard to pull away from them, or that I don't have a private space of my own? What would be some of the things that would prevent you from spending time with Him? And then try to work through, okay, how can I find solutions to those? And then just go for it. Spend time with Him. Again, no agenda, just be with Jesus. What an opportunity we have in this time to be with him and get rid of all the thoughts where I'm like, God, I want to get this out of you, or I need this thing from you, but just be with him.
That's
So,
good.
healthy habit number 1, spend time with Jesus.
That's good, Bubby. What has it looked like for you, during quarantine to spend time with God? Can you bring us into what you're doing or what it looks like for you right now?
Well, I'll bring you in. All right. Yeah. It has, I'll say it's been good in some ways and it's been really hard in some ways. I don't have as many things that I need to get up in the morning and be at a certain place for. So it's harder to get up to my alarm.
Yeah.
At the same time, I felt the freedom to spend time with God throughout my day or at night. Like last night, I was reading a passage of scripture before I went to bed, and I don't normally do that, but I just it kind of felt freed up to read the Bible and spend time with God at different times during the day, or to go on a walk and pray.
Yeah.
Go on a walk and pray. You can still walk around your neighborhood. The governor says that's okay, to be clear. Maybe so this hasn't been for me, but maybe for you, doing something you don't normally do, creative ways to meet with God, like journaling or trying to write a worship song of your own, or
Well,
taking communion by yourself or with your family at home. There are I think that something that could be good for all of us is to break out of the box, maybe that we've put God in, or maybe you've never really spent time with Jesus consistently. Maybe this could be the time. Let quarantine be the time where that becomes a discipline in your life, a normal part of your life, spending time with Jesus every single day.
that's good.
So spend time with him during quarantine. If you get nothing else out of this time, let it be fellowship with Jesus and time with him.
Yeah.
So that's healthy habit number 1. Hope, what can you tell us about number 2? What do you have for us?
Number 2, here we go. Number 2 is connect with people. Stay connected. I think one of the things that is so hard to do right now in us being in our homes and being in different places is to stay connected. It's so easy to just naturally disengage and disconnect. And we want to encourage you to build the habit of staying connected with people, where and that are there for you, that you get to walk in relationship with and you get to just do life with, even if that's just virtually. It's better than nothing. So we were created for it. We were created for relationship and for community, and the enemy would love to use this time to bring isolation. That's one thing that we're praying for during
Hope is freezing. Hope is freezing.
Uh-oh. You good?
We good.
Nice. See, he's trying to isolate.
Oh no.
Our people to really
Is that you, Hope?
good. I see ya. You're not frozen on mine.
All right, bring us back in connecting with people.
Connecting with people. Don't let the enemy win. Don't let him draw you away or keep you isolated. In those places of isolation, that's really when the fear can come up, or when anxiety or even temptations can just become so strong, and we're keeping them to ourselves and we're not living in the light and living in community with other people. And so I think there's 2 great questions that I ask myself in every season, but especially as we think about this, staying connected with people. And those questions are, who is going to be investing in me?
Good question.
So even if I'm in California or if I'm in Colorado, it doesn't matter. Who's going to be the person that is investing in me, that's That could be someone at home where you're at. That could be someone here back in Seattle. That could be someone from your life group or the person discipling you. But who's going to be that person that is intentionally investing in you? And then how are you going to do it? Like, make a plan. Are you going to do FaceTime? Are you going to Zoom once a week? Are you going to every other week do a phone call? Coming up with a plan and having a person that you can really go to during this time that's going to be pouring into you, a place where you can stay accountable, a place where you can be vulnerable with how you're feeling during this time, or share your needs as they come up, and ask for prayer, ask for encouragement, someone to share your jokes with or just have fun with that's going to be investing in you. And the second question I ask is, who will I be investing in? And I think, this time's so unique. It feels like, okay, I have to stay home, so I might as well just kind of like pause on everything I'm doing, the way that I'm running after Jesus, or the way that I'm sharing the gospel and pouring out to others, which just isn't true.
No.
Like, even when we're apart, the Great Commission still applies. There's still this call on our life as believers to be making disciples and to be advancing the kingdom of God. And so that's a question that you can ask yourself, is who am I going to be investing in during this time, wherever I am? Maybe it's a sibling or a parent or someone from home, or even someone that's from Seattle that you can be checking in with. But who is the person, or who are the people? And then how are you going to do it? Are you going to serve your family? Are you going to do the dishes every night for a week? Are you going to bless your mom by doing something that you know she wants you to do that you don't want to do?
Yes.
Are you going to call someone and check in with them and be a place of prayer and support for them? How are you and who are you going to be investing in?
Nice. That's good. Great question. Well, so Hope, tell me, what is, when it comes to investing in people or connecting with people, what are some of the funnest ways that you've connected with people so far during quarantine?
Ooh, okay.
Most unique.
Most unique. Shoot. Hard on the Zoom game. So the other night we had a game night with two of our couple friends that we hang out with a lot. Usually we spend a lot of time with them during the week. They're kind of the people that we share and do life with. We share the hard things, the great things. And so we kind of had a little catch up over Zoom. And then there's this game called Jackbox TV. It's awesome. One person buys it, you can share your screen, and then everyone on their phone just plays the game together online. So,
Nice.
I mean, we thought we would play for like an hour, but we stayed up all night just going back and forth playing all these different games. So,
Nice.
It almost felt as good as being in the room, but
Nice.
It's been fun. Yeah.
I like it. Well, y'all, here it is. Healthy habit number 3. Have a daily and weekly plan. If you want to crush quarantine, you need to have a plan for your day and for your week. For many of us, our structure was just taken away completely. Finito. Done. In school, you're told when the cafeteria opens, when you can eat and when you cannot, when you have to go to class, etc. But not having those things, now we need to create a schedule for ourselves. And we need to create structure for ourselves, planning our days and planning our weeks. Proverbs 21:5 says that the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance.
That's good.
I want to have an abundant quarantine. Maybe you've heard it said another way. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Maybe you're more familiar with that. But look, God has a plan for this time for you. God has a good plan for each one of us during this time. He wasn't surprised when all this hit. He knew what was happening. He knew what was coming. And actually, he has a plan for each of us. And the question is whether or not we'll realize that. And if we recognize this fact that God has a plan, then we can use our time effectively. I know that I am tempted to just waste time on stupid stuff, just eating hot Cheetos and watching Netflix. I'm kidding. I don't think I've ever had a hot Cheeto in my life.
Really?
But Yeah.
Come on.
But seriously, the temptation to waste your time is everywhere right now,
Yeah.
uh, and what God would have us do is use that time well. Now, get rest, be refreshed in this time, but also make a plan for your day, for your week. Wake up at a certain time every day. Go to bed at a certain time. That's a hard one, but that's actually, I think that's the most important one. Go to bed. Just stop whatever it is that you're doing. Just go to bed. Go to bed
Yes.
at a certain time. Wake up, eat
Morning.
breakfast, brush your teeth. The other day, I think it was like Friday or Saturday, I didn't brush my teeth all day and I didn't realize because I never left the house.
No.
And so, what I'm saying is, you need to brush your teeth and take a shower and get outside every day. Plan time where you're going to be active or working out or uh, create some sort of structure for yourself that'll help you to use your time well. If you don't
That's
have
good.
a plan, then the devil will. But really, you don't need to accomplish some great feat. Actually, I think that's one of the big things that God wants to teach us during this time is that He's not looking for us to do some big, great thing necessarily, but how can we use our time well? Create
Mhm.
some sort of schedule for yourself daily, and then even to think weekly. Have a day where you're really intentionally taking a Sabbath and resting and being with God for an extended amount of time and being with family,
Yeah.
connecting with them or with roommates, and do life group. Have a night where you're doing life group Zoom calls. We're starting those this week. Life group Zoom calls. Connect with different people on different days. Plan. You can plan into your week. Pray together. So we're doing this thing every day at noon, from noon to 1, called Pray Together on the Mosaic Seattle Instagram and soon on YouTube. But praying together from noon to 1. Would you find a couple days a week that you're going to join the pray together time and pray with us, or maybe every day? I know some of you guys are doing that every day, but uh, plan out your week. Make a plan for your time if you want to thrive. It's really important. It can be a plan to, hey, I'm gonna hang out and rest and goof off on Friday. That could be your plan. That's great. Make goofing off your plan. I'm all about it.
Yes. That's good, Bubby. So say, all right, I'm a college student. I'm at home with my family. I'm not working. I don't currently have school right now. I don't really have a ton that I'm responsible for. So how do I make a good schedule? How do I do this? What you're saying, make a plan and come up with a schedule.
Great question, Hope.
What's it like?
I think there are a couple things you can. I mean, time with Jesus was what we said is most important, but you could also just choose other good things to give your time to. You could pray, you could ask God. Maybe He has some unique ideas for you to devote time and energy to things, but it could just be things you're interested in. Maybe you've always wanted to paint. I finished a painting that has been uh, I mean, I painted something probably 4 years ago was the last time I painted something. I like painting. I painted something last week. Uh,
Right.
Pick up painting or maybe learning guitar and schedule that in. Hey, I'm going to learn how to play guitar on Tuesdays. And who knows,
Yeah.
when life group starts back up in person, you could be leading worship there.
Let it be.
Yeah. Or read books. Ari, my wife, she has been crushing books. She has been plowing through some books. Read, choose some books that you want to read during this time. Uh, there are lots of good things you can give your time to, and
It's true.
plan, plan. You don't need to have every minute planned out, but really just take a moment to think intentionally about the future, about the day ahead, about the week ahead, and think, okay, how am I going to spend my time?
Yeah. It's good.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Number 4.
Number 4, bring it, Hope. I'm not scared.
You ready for
Never have
this?
been.
Number 4 is social media sweet spot.
Ooh, that sounds sweet.
It is crazy right now, Bubby. People are on their phones more than ever before. Do you feel like you're on your phone more? I mean, you got an Instagram, so
Oh, I
we
made an
know things are
Instagram, so
different.
for sure, I'm on my phone more than I ever have
I
been.
don't want to tell you what my screen time is for today because it's just bad.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, like, because it's our only way to really connect right now, to engage with people and just to know what's going on in the world. We're all on our phones. I mean,
Yes,
people are watching on their phones right now.
it's true.
And when we're on our phones that much, there's so much that we're taking in, and there's so much news. I mean, I used to never read the news. I'm not like a news gal. I don't really do it. I just wait till the world tells me what's happening, which isn't great. I'm not saying you should do that. But now I'm like reading article after article, and there's so much like heavy stuff out there right now, and
Yeah.
bad, crazy news stories. And
Yeah.
it's crazy, like in the midst of all that's going on, people are really craving for some good news.
Yeah.
People have even started accounts on Instagram or different social media platforms for this thing. Like I just watched the guy Jim from The Office, John, I don't even know how to say his last name, Krasinski. He started his own show just about good news, and there's like millions of people watching because they're wanting something good in the middle of all this that's going on. And so, as believers, I've just been stirred that I get to use my social media to be a beacon of hope and to provide good news in the midst of all the darkness and all the chaos that's going on in our world right now. And now more than ever, there's like a openness to the gospel.
Yeah.
Like people are desperate and people are lonely, they're isolated, they want something to put their hope in. And so we are praying for Seattle, we're praying for our nation really, to that God will use this time of crisis to really bring an openness to the gospel in ways that we've never seen before. So
Yeah.
I think one
That's
way that
good.
we can think of that social media sweet spot is thinking, how can I use my social media to be a light in the darkness? How can I sow seeds of hope and
Yeah.
share the gospel with people that are looking at my Instagram story today? How can I encourage people that are, interacting and facing really hard things? How can I be a source of hope, pointing them to Jesus? And so I want to encourage us to really take this on. As we're online now more than ever before, would we use our media platforms to be a light and to share the hope of Jesus?
That's good. That's good, Hope. I want to do that. So, okay, how much social media is too much, or can you help us? Give us something
Yeah.
here. How do I know when I'm on it too much or not
Yeah.
enough?
Yes. This is always something that I'm asking myself. I know this is something that a lot of our students are asking, not just in this time, but really every day, is like, how do I stay connected but not be too drawn in? How do I do it in a healthy way? And so I think this is where that sweet spot really comes in, is just getting with God, and just like anything else that you would do in your life, like having limits to it and not just diving in deep and going crazy. And, I think of Psalm 16:16 that talks about how the boundary lines have fallen for us in pleasant places or good places, and how God has boundaries for us. Like he sets up those handrails, he gives us those guidelines in our life so that we can thrive. And so we do this for a lot of different things in life, how we eat or how we spend our time. And I think social media should be one of those things that we do this with.
Yeah.
And so I'm always asking myself, okay, God, or asking God really, God, what are my boundaries in this season with how much time I'm spending on social media or what kind of social media I'm interacting with? And so I would encourage our students to be asking the same question, to be asking God, how much is too much for me, Lord? Because he's the best person at knowing that. And I've done different things in different seasons based on what God has said. Some seasons I haven't, or I only did social media between the hours of 10 and 10. And so I knew that, okay, before 10 a.m., I'm not going to be checking my phone or checking Instagram, whatever it is. And then after 10, I'm plugging in my phone and I'm putting it on the nightstand. So things like that I've done, like I'm going to check it once a day. I'm going to check it twice a day at these specific times. So limiting your time. And one thing I found to be helpful is avoiding having it be like the first thing that I look to in the morning and the last thing that I go to bed doing, which to be honest has been really hard these past couple of weeks. Like the first thing I want to do when I wake up is check, the news and see what's the update.
Yeah.
Like what happened in the 8 hours that I was asleep? How many cases have we now developed?
Yeah.
And I find myself doing the same thing at night too. It's like, okay, the day's gone by. Let's see where we're at. And then, an hour goes by and I just read like 10 articles. So really just setting up some boundaries. And then one other thing is just checking your heart. Like I have to check, okay, how is this affecting me?
Yeah.
Really looking in deep. And Matthew 6:22-23 is a great passage about how the eye is the lamp of the body. And so if our eye is healthy, then our whole body will be healthy. So if what I'm putting before my eyes, like it just connects that what I'm putting before my eyes is going to have an effect on my heart and on my soul and my spirit. And so what am I setting before myself? What am I putting before my eyes, and how is it affecting my heart?
Yes.
And then the great thing is that we get to do this together. So if it is something that's hard for you in this season or it's affecting you, you get to bring people into that and share that with community.
It's good. It's good. Boundaries. Love them.
Founded.
Check your heart. For show. Nice. Well, here we are, y'all. We've come to number 5, fifth healthy habit to crush coronavirus, or what do we call it? Quarantine. For crushing quarantine. Fifth healthy habit. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Fifth healthy habit is to laugh a lot. Laugh a lot. Proverbs 17:22. Let's see if I can find this. Just read this last week, and it was helpful. Proverbs 17:22 says, "A joyful heart is good medicine. A joyful
Yeah.
heart is good medicine." Uh, I think we need to laugh during this time. I think we need to have fun. I think we need to goof off. I got to see some pranks happening to loved ones over social media. I mean, in a kind way, but it's not avoiding the hard things that are going on, but finding
Yeah.
joy in the middle of the trial is good and right. And uh, go do something goofy that, even if you don't feel like doing it, go do something goofy. And when we laugh, what it does is it puts everything into perspective. For a moment, if you're just kind of uncontrollably laughing, it's like the clouds part and you can see, if you're really in the midst of a trial, the clouds part for a moment and you can see, oh, okay, like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Life is gonna be okay. It reminds me, whatever challenges are going on, that this too shall pass when I
It's good.
laugh for a moment or just have fun. And I don't need to take everything so seriously. So that's my challenge to you. Have some fun. Laugh. Tickle your mom. Or just do something goofy. And I mean, seriously, do a prank. Send Hope and I a video. Maybe we'll upload. Okay, here's what we'll do. If you can do some really good pranks, send them to us. Hope and I we're gonna blow up this YouTube channel, and we're gonna post some videos of hilarious pranks if they're funny. I mean, they gotta be funny.
Within quarantine restrictions, of
Yes.
course.
So pranks to people that you live with that are kind
Yes.
and funny. But I need to laugh. Ari and I have been
Yeah.
doing some challenges, some Instagram challenges. We did this push-up one recently, and we just laughed and laughed and laughed because, you're supposed to do it with somebody else on your back, and usually people do it with their kids on their back. But I put Ari on my back, and she is a delicate lady, and it was challenging for me, but we we laughed, and it was so helpful. So find ways to laugh, and with that, I'm gonna read our winner, winner chicken dinner joke from our comments. The best joke, quarantine related, is from Alexa Robitussin. Alexa Rasmussen. Before coronavirus, I used to cough to cover a fart. I'm not sure about that. That was my Amazon Echo going off.
Oh my gosh, lol.
Okay, this is what Miss Rasmussen says. She says, before coronavirus, I used to cough to cover a fart. Now I fart to cover a cough. Get out there and laugh. Find a way to laugh and
Yes.
get some joy in you. It's important. So
Yeah,
there you go.
that is good.
Yes.
Good joke.
Nice. Well, hey, y'all, we really love you, and we want you to know that God has good plans for you. I see a few things popping off in the chat, but really, we want you to know
Alexa, buy Hope Pizza.
Oh.
People are seeing their Alexa.
There we go. Hey, seriously, we love y'all, and I am also looking for a picture of this painting to show you, because that seems to have been requested in the comments. I could take you.
Maybe you could post it on your Instagram. They could go follow you.
I'll post a picture of the painting on my Instagram, and so you got to follow me to see it. Sorry. But hey, here's a recap. Spend time with Jesus. Connect with people. Make a plan for your day and for your week. Find that social media sweet spot. Laugh a lot. And realize that God has good plans for you in this season.
Mm-hmm.
What does He want to do? And if you implement these 5 things, I think you will really have an awesome time in quarantine. Not that it's all going to be ponies and roses, but that you'll really see God do a lot in your life during quarantine. So let's crush it together, all right, y'all?
Let's crush it. And hey, we're doing stuff. We're not sitting back and being idle during this time. We got a lot going on. So stay connected to our college ministry. Or like Bubby mentioned earlier, we're starting up life groups this week. So get with your life group leader on your group meet and figure out what your life group is doing for life group this week. Also, we're praying together every day. 12 to 1. Pray together on Instagram, hopefully YouTube soon. And then every Sunday, you can join us and do church with us on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. You can subscribe to Mosaic Community Church on YouTube and find the videos there. So stay connected, stay plugged in to our college ministry and to our family. We love y'all. We miss you.
We love y'all so much. And hey, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
See ya on the flip side.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.